Hi guys, welcome to another review. This time I'm gonna review Dead Space 3, which is the latest in the Dead Space franchise on the PS3. I love the Dead Space franchise. I mean, I'm 50-50 on a lot of it, but generally I have to say that it is a good game, good franchise so far. And for the latest one, I give it 9/10. Yes, that's how good it is. Um, the premise is about Isaac Clarke continuing his fight against the Marker. The Marker is an alien artifact that has been causing um, madness around the universe, and it can transform people into monsters and stuff like that. So it has a vibe of aliens and this latest series has a touch of the Thing, because it takes place on a ice cold planet and a remote planet. So it's really interesting, and the people there is trying to contain the marker madness, or viral infection, marker infection. So the premise is that it is. I really like it. I have to be honest that the beginning is really slow. I want to start with the some of the weakness. Some of the most of the weakness can be found in the beginning, and it is really slow, really tedious. You have to do a lot of going back and forth, and there's very little story being revealed to you, so you don't know why you're doing stuff except for the short term goals. So it was very hard to play the first level of the game, which takes place in space outside uh, the it takes outside of the orbit of this ice planet, where the Isaac and his team plan to go. um, and 40% of the game, I think, took place on that on 30%. Yeah, 30% took place on space. And it was that level, the first few levels that takes place on that in the outer space. It was really difficult, because you don't know the whole story. You don't The story is not revealed that much to you, and you are weak. You don't have a lot of materials to create weapons, and there's a lot of monsters. And then, yeah, it's like you're playing blind, because I mean, there's no motivation for you to play, and except that, oh, you want to uh, find ways to go down on the planet, because you're stuck on this wreckage out in outer space. I call it the Eudora missions, which begins the game. Really slow, really tedious work, and you are weak. You have no weapons, and your bodysuit is not really up to, you're not focusing on that yet. You don't have the materials to buff yourself up. So my tip, if you are playing this level, my tip is, make sure that your oxygen level, you upgrade your oxygen on your suit, and upgrade also your stasis, because you need to freeze some undead monsters later on that cannot die. So I'm gonna review that, some spoiler. You will find them in later on in the Eudora missions. I mean, really difficult. I almost wanted to give up on the first few levels, the 20%, 30% that you play in space. So it was really tough. So you have to be patient for that. However, the 9/10 for this review happens once you touch down on the ice planet. Once you touch down, man, the game really opens up. Really opens up. You find out the mystery about the story, and you find out about a lot of juicy stuff about the game, and you find a lot of materials to create your first fantastic weapon. So again, it only begins after 40 minutes, after 40% of the game that you played. After the Eudora mission in space, once you touch down on the ground on the ice planet, boom, the story really starts. So really amazing levels. I have to say the story is really good. It's like I say, it starts slow, really slow. It really drags you, really tests my patience. But after uh, the story, I get to know the story more. It piques my interest. It wants me to, to search more on what happened there, what happened on the planet, what happened to the people on the planet and stuff. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed by the story, because it is really amazing. One thing different from the previous Dead Space is that this time you have side missions, and there are two types of side missions, and I categorize them two types. One is just for you to find, it's a treasure hunt. Man, it means what I mean is, if you do this mission, you'll find a lot of spare parts and to equip your weapons and and your suit and stuff like that. And then there's another one, another type of side mission where you discover more of the story. So for me personally, I would suggest that you go for the side mission. You do your side mission. They are incredibly difficult and hard, and but it's worth it because if you find bits of the story and bits of the puzzles of the towards the bigger story, it really is worth the hardship. All right. So yeah, the story wise in that sense is good. So now, another tip that I would like to give you is, you have to pace yourself. You cannot sit down and play this game like 4 hours straight or 5 hours straight, because it will wear you down. uh, I mean, that's a bad part of the game, that it doesn't have a good pacing. It just throw everything at you at hectic pace. It's like there's no pause. For example, you fight a giant monster, giant necromorph, giant alien, and then you he swallowed you, and you went into his stomach, and then you fight stuff like that, and you get out of the stomach, you kill the giant beast, and it is an epic battle. But the moment you fall down, there's no pause, there's no celebratory thing, but you get a kick in the head by one of your non-player character. So it's a bit frustrating lah, because the pacing is really bad, and it can wear you off. We can wear you down seriously. So my advice is, pace yourself. I mean, you play after you finish a certain epic battle, and stop, rest or whatever. I mean, don't continue, because it will drain you. It will drain you emotionally and physically, because the story is very dark, um, very negative in terms of, it's a dark story. Where there's some, I'm gonna spoil these things for you. There's a lot, like, you discover what happened to the people on the planet. They resort to, for example, cannibalism. That is a dark territory that I mean, yeah, I can't believe it, but yeah, it happened. And it's really intriguing and really mysterious. You just want to find out more and more. So after every mission, every big fight, I would stop, and after every side mission, I would stop. You cannot completely play this straight 8 hours. You're gonna emotionally, you're gonna be down, because the story is really dark. um yeah. Okay, one of the highlight of the game, and as I mentioned earlier, you can craft your own mission, your own weapons. Seriously, you start this game really weak. Even on the Eudora mission, you don't get a lot of supplies and stuff like that, and you're focusing on equipping your spacesuit, because you have to be in space a lot later in the Eudora missions. But once you're on the ground, you know how to you find a lot of materials. You can develop a king ass weapon, and I really love this, because then you became strong. You can be on the same level as the necromorph, so it really start to opens up, and you can explore more because you are not really weak. So really, really good. I for the story alone, I give it a 9/10 because it really is interesting. um, the gameplay is like I say, it is tedious. In a lot of 20% of it in space was really extremely tedious. You are going back and forth to do the same thing, but after you touch down the planet, and the whole game opens up, and it gets better as you get more bit and pieces of the story. So okay, Dead Space 1 took place on a spaceship, right? And the story was straightforward. You just want to find your girlfriend. Yeah, that was a really good story too. But part 2 for me was, the story was just that, very simple. You just wanted to escape from the colony that is overrun by aliens, and then you discovered that you have to stop one marker, and then that's it. This one, you will discover a lot of markers, a lot of monsters, then, and it's epic. There's so many things. I mean, the only bad part was like the pacing lah. I mean, there's no pacing control at all. They just throw all everything at you. They were, the big boss of the previous Dead Space was an undead creature that you cannot kill. Every time you kill it, it will regenerate. You also discovered this monster in the first one, but in this Dead Space 3, there's not only one. There's like more than 5. I counted on at one level. I counted more than 5. So my tip for that: once you get on the planet, once as you are uploading your weapon, make sure that you also upgrade your suit to make sure your stasis is to the max. And yeah, really, really intense. Really great, really great. I got it on Saturday, 9th of I think 9th of February. I finished yesterday. Today is what? I paced myself lah. I think about 5, 6 days I played the game. I paced myself. I can't play straight off, but it's a really good experience. Um, it's really better than the previous Dead Space franchise, because it's once you're on the planet, the the game opens up, and the game is not trying to be too brainy that you cannot solve any puzzles. The puzzles is solvable. Monsters are beatable. It's only, I mean, it's up to your own strategy. Upgrade your weapon, upgrade your suits and stuff like that, and you can win the game. And the story is amazing. Another tip is, wait after you finish it. Wait until all the names goes up, and the credits roll, and then you discover the true ending. It's a positive ending, thank God. That's it. I just want to mention that the only Dead Space franchise that I give 10/10 is the Dead Space Extraction, which is a on-rail shooter that first came out on the Y, but it also came out on the ps3, and I played it, and I really loved it because it's no hassle. You just playing on rail, just concentrate on beefing up your weapons. So it was really good. So this is my review on Dead Space 3. I give it 9/10. It is amazing. Yeah, the only weakness is some parts are a bit long, a bit tedious, but be patient. Make sure you get on the planet, and once you get on the planet, you're gonna enjoy the game seriously to the fullest. Alright, that's my review of Dead Space 3. Thank you.